Crafting Vicky here with you. I hope you're doing well and that you're enjoying your springtime. Here I'm happy to report that it's been fairly nice, and it's starting to get warmer. It's strange though, because it can vary like a lot from one day to the next. Sometimes it's close to the freezing temperature and the next day it's like super warm. I think spring is very confused this year. I don't know why, but it is. So I want to start off this video by sharing a beautiful card that I got from Kathy. I've already thanked her via an email because she's been emailing me back and forth, but I wanted to share it with you all. This is a beautiful Easter card that I got, and there's beautiful little embellishments in it as well. So how cute is that? I just had to share with you all because I'm always so happy when I get happy mail. So today what we're making is we're using these sheets that I created. These are my freebie sheets for the month of May for my Patreon. And I went a bit overboard, to say the least. There's actually 10 pages, if I'm not mistaken. And I actually added an extra one because Ina asked me, I had asked them about something. I'll share with you the picture, but I had asked what sentiment they would like to see. And I had completed the set when she actually posted some ideas of sentiments. So I made an extra sheet to give to them because I just couldn't help myself. So this time around, I'm using some of the beautiful papers that I made on my Patreon, and I figured I would use them to. I made some embellishments, and I figured I would use these after to just play. So I've got this sheet, and basically my goal was to make like toppers and papers that can be used any time. So I'm really happy with the set. I made it, as I said, I made the papers with my Patreons, and then I altered them via Photoscape, and then some of these I made using my my new iPad. So I've started playing with iPad, and I found a way to transfer images over back and forth so I could actually play with them on my iPad, and then I can transfer them back to my computer and then prepare them in sheets. So I'm getting better at it, so I'm very proud of myself because I've been wanting to do this for quite a long time and never really took the time to do it, and now I'm starting to. So it's fun to have my very own designs, you know. So they're very color coordinated this month, but it feels perfect for springtime. So then there's this one, and then with this one I basically used some stencils that I had made, and I've provided the big sheet so it can be used as the background, but I've also made smaller, and as you can see, like, they can be used on a card as a topper, but you can also use the smaller ones so that you've got some other embellishments. And I made this using my iPad, and I made it smaller, so you could also cut this and use that as your top, as the embellishment. So there's all sorts of ways that it can be used. So this is the paper that goes with it. Then I've got this page. Then this I made exclusively on my iPad, and then I've got this one, which is also made on my iPad. Then I made this, which is this is made using my iPad, and then I added some of the flowers that I had made. I added it on and then made the design, and then transferred it over. This is a drawing that I did on my iPad, so this is one of the first times that I've done that, so quite happy. And these I've done in a different ways because as I told you, the flowers, actually I've got them close by here. The flowers are actually raised, which means that As you can see, like they're raised. So what happens is, in the past I used to scan these, and it was never a really good scan because the printer would keep open. The lid would be too open. So this time around what I did is I took a picture from above, because now I've got a new light box, so I can take pictures from above, and with the pictures I was able to use those, clean them up, and then make these embellishments, which I think turned out really fun. And this is the image that I had shared on my Patreon, and I was asking if they wanted some sentiments on it, and I had prepared the sheet already and it was all complete, so I made an extra sheet with just these. There's 2 different sentiments, and then I've colored them in purples and in blues, so they've got different choices. And I love to do just something like this so they can put their own sentiment, but I also like this because then it's easier to use a sentiment. But this, you know, like you can add an image, you can add an actual flower, you can add all sorts of stuff, and here you can put your own sentiment as well. So like I don't want to put sentiments on all of them because not everybody wants to do the same thing. And this page is what I'm most proud of because they really turned out really wonderful. And so I made them in different sizes, and quite happy with them. I really loved how they turned out, and I love the extra doodles that I made on them, like on this one, for example, because this one started off being something similar to this, and then I made the doodles and added to it. And this was the original paper that also becomes a background. So this is my set. If you're interested, you can go in my Patreon shop to purchase it, but you can also you could also become a Patreon, and by that you get all the freebies, including this month's as well as previous months. So I think it's a really good deal. It's $2 US plus tax, depending on what sales tax is in your area. I forgot last time to mention that it was in US currency, so just wanted to put it out there because not everybody pays, like it's gonna, I say $2, but it's gonna vary depending on what your currency is. So this is it. We're gonna be making some cards with these. I've pulled out some papers that I thought had some colors that really suited with my things. For example, this one. And then there's that one, which has also some purples, I believe. Has some blues for sure. Has these, which could be fun because they're very similar colors. And there's other purples. And then I have this one, which has also beautiful colors, which are reminiscent of what I did here. So yeah, that's what we're making today. And I want to put extra embellishments on the flowers. I was thinking that I could put some bling on top of them. That could be a fun way of doing it. One thing could be fun too is adding, like for example this, and then raising up a flower, or you know, putting it in the middle and raising up a flower, and I could actually put a sentiment. Actually, that could be a really fun way. And then there's this one, which could also be layered. I could also put something else on top. I believe I've got some. There's obviously these that could be fun. But there's all my flowers, and I really am dying to use some of these, so I will probably use some of those and put some embellishments on top of them. So that's what we're starting off with. I think I'm gonna start off using this one, maybe. just gonna cut this out. I don't know if I want to use this one or that one. If I use this one, it would be smaller, but then I could use more of a paper. Whereas if I use this, I don't know how much you will see. Well, actually, I could cut both and see, take it from there. I just don't want to damage my flowers. I try to align them so that you can make square cuts, but sometimes it's not feasible. It really depends on the sheet. So okay, so I'm gonna actually, I could leave a little gap of white. That could be fun, because then if I'm putting it on purple, it's gonna pop. I'm gonna actually have just a tiny bit of my flower. Oh man, it's like it's a bit crooked. Okay. Okay, so I've got that one, and then this one I'm gonna cut straight on the edge because it's already really big, and if I make it and I don't want to, I want to be able to see whatever paper I decide to put underneath. Maybe I can just do a purple though, a purple base. That might be the solution for the big one. Okay, so I've got all of these. See, I could even put, let's say, this here, because that was one of the things I was thinking about, is using these as the topper. And the idea came to me of making these. I've made them in the past. I've got some digital kits in my store already. But I got the idea of making another one, this one, by using the Ankh-Dori set from Francis. That gave me the idea of that it would be fun. Okay, I'm gonna cut it a bit more. So that could be fun. And then what I could do is put this underneath, and then I could put that on under as well. That could be a way of doing this. Or else I can put, and this way I could leave some of the, because I've got a feeling it's kind of big, but then again, I don't know. Let's see. It's too busy. A lot of these are very busy backgrounds. But this one could be fun. But it still feels like it's covering a lot of that paper, whereas if I go with this, then I don't have that problem. So I think I'm going to stick to this idea. and use that. I also just saw on the corner of my eye this paper, which is something that also fits very well with this and makes a completely different type of look. So that might be a good one as well, because it's already cut and everything. And it's one of my goals is to use those big 12 by 12 papers, because I would really love to finish some of those big packs of paper. I've also said that I wanted to make some journals, and I haven't taken the time to do it because I've been busy with other stuff, including changing my furnace at the studio. Furnace and heat pump. I was having issues, and obviously don't want to have issues with the fact that I've got tenants. It's really not nice if you've got tenants and their heating is not working properly, or cooling for that matter. And so, and I've already spent last year about $1,000, and the previous year another $1,000. So I just decided that enough was enough, and I was just gonna actually make the investment to change the whole system. But I needed to make space for them to come and change it, because I've got all sorts of stuff on my walls. I've got a garage system. You might know this if you're from especially from the province of Quebec. It's called Proslat, and it's basically some siding that you put on the wall, and then you can put hooks and baskets and all sorts of stuff from like hang it on the wall, and you can place it in different areas, which is really, really cool. And so I've got a system like that, and I've got part of it is in the furnace room, so I had to empty all of that, which was a big job, a really big job. But now it's done, and now the only thing that needs to be taken care of is I had at the studio before, it was natural gas, which I'm also glad I got rid of it, because I was always nervous with the natural gas versus electricity. So now they have to come and remove the in French it's counter, but the compteur, it's whatever counts the usage of the gas. I'm actually gonna raise this up, because I just feel like it looks flat otherwise. And obviously I'm gonna also put some bling on top, so that's also gonna give dimension. I could add some stickles and stuff like that, but because I did print this on good quality paper, but it's still paper. I thought about printing a few sheets on cardstock, because then it would be better it would support putting stickles. Whereas if I put stickles on this type of paper, it tends to warp. So it's not as fun. And I'm anxious now to get going with the with my garden, but it's still freezing sometimes at night, so can't, like one of the days I got up, it was actually just 1 degree Celsius. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but it's fairly cold. I think that really adds to we can actually put, I'm thinking maybe these. They just happen to be there, and they're the right size and right color. Whoops. I could also put something on the side, like put a few going down. Do I have enough to put like an odd number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I would. So let's try this out. So I'm gonna try to make them as even as possible. Whoops. So it just doesn't want to stay put now. So maybe like that, and then put one between each. Oh my god, it just wants to stick to my finger. Okay, so whoops. Wants to stick to my finger but doesn't want to stick to the page. I've had these for a while, so maybe they're not as sticky as they used to be. That sometimes happens. Okay, come on, little guy, just turn around and just stick to the page that you're supposed to be sticking to. It doesn't want to. It really doesn't want to. Okay, so here. I think that adds a nice touch. So that's my first card. I'm really happy with it. Let's go and make another one. Of course, it doesn't have a sentiment, but that's sometimes is the best, because this way I can use them for any sort of thing. Okay, the paper is not sticking to it anymore. So then my next one, really want to use some of the flowers. I do have this one cut out already. And what would I put? I wonder if I would put one big flower. Or maybe two little ones, like these two. And I have tiny little buttons here that I think could be fun maybe for, oh, they're too big. I thought they were small enough, but they're not quite small enough. Let's see, I've got my jar of yellow buttons here. Some of these might be a little bit smaller. These are really nice. They would fit nicely on the big flower. I think with the smaller ones it would have to be bling. It can't be the button, but on the big ones it'd be perfect to put buttons, or like on these big ones. That would add like the dimension and make it pop. Okay, so I'm probably gonna use some bling then, because just have to figure out if I've got some yellow bling. I really like the colors of this. Is there another one that I prefer? I do like that one. Well, that one too is pretty. Actually, I think this one might be better. These were at the dollar store for $1.25 for 30 sheets. So really good deal. And because I've got the white, it's going to be perfect to keep a white piece. But maybe I can use this paper under my flower. If I was to put one big flower, I'll have to see. I do have this as well that I can use. Okay, so this, and then I'm going to put that on top. And I could put this here, or I can put this here. I don't have any other blues that I really like. No. The other blues are not purple enough. I think this is probably the same. Oh, maybe not. Actually, that one would be perfect. That one would be really cute in this. Okay, so before I cut it, I'm going to cut my 2 flowers that I want to use. I could cut directly on the flower, but I'm going to leave a little white space because I'm going to be putting it on purple, and again it's going to make it pop more by leaving it on the purple, by leaving that little white edge. I'm so happy. I would love to take a class of for Procreate, but the thing is, I'm not sure that I want to take it online. I think I would prefer to have an in-person class, just because it's better when I'm doing it at the same time as somebody's teaching me, and I just have trouble watching a video and doing it at the same time. I don't know why, but that's how I am, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Leave an edge here, leave an edge there, but I think I'm gonna round off the edges because I've got them rounded on here, and then I'm wondering if I should round the edges of that rectangle as well. I don't know. I think I could just round those up a bit. Maybe I should have had a bigger edge, because now it's touching the black, but it's okay. I'm just gonna do the same thing. And it's also gonna fit with the fact that this is kind of rounded as well. So I think it's a nice little touch. When I was going through my punches to make my flowers and things, and also to make my snarky cat cards, I came across this little punch from Stamping Out that I've had for a long time, never used. So put it aside with my other tool, my crocodile, so that I could actually use it. It's funny how we've got these beautiful things and then we don't think of using them. I could put, again, some purple in the middle, but I think it's going to be too much tone on tone, and I'm thinking that the yellow would be better. So I'm also wondering if I should put the raise the flowers or raise this piece. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna raise the flowers this time. So I'm gonna put a foam under the flowers, which is great that I'm using these because I've had them in my drawer for a while and keeps getting tangled into all sorts of other stuff, which is very annoying. So using it is going to be good. And I think there's 2 more on this little pack. I don't usually purchase the ones that are like that are already split, just because it does that, you know, like it's a mess. Don't like it as much. Okay, so what do I have in terms of yellow? I could put something like this. I don't have it in my bin here. I might go and take it from my little book of bling. I'm not seeing anything close, so let's just pull out the little book. So these could be pretty centers. Do I have something brighter? Maybe this one? Yeah, I think I like that one better. Because this one has more green undertone. I'm not liking it as much for this. Whereas this fits more with some of the yellow that's underneath in the paper. I'm thinking, you know, since we've got the bling out, let's bling this up a bit more. Okay. So that's my second card. I really like how they turned out. I think I will end the video here. It's a little bit over 30 minutes, but that's okay because I blabbed at the beginning for a while. But I hope that you've enjoyed seeing me make these with the kits. I'm sure my Patreons will like seeing their kit being used. Maybe it's going to give them some inspiration for some cards to make. I also have, they voted, and one of the things that they voted on was springtime thinking of you cards. So I'm thinking that would be a fun way as well to use the kits. So might do that as well. So that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you next week. Love you. Take care. Bye.